Good evening. Thanks for joining us. This is NTD Business, and I'm Paul Graney. Twitter shares plummeted today. It's after they banned President Trump from his platform. Twitter alternative Parler, it's suing Amazon for taking down its website. It says Amazon's hosting service violated their contract. U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer tells Biden's team to keep pressure on China by keeping President Trump's tariffs in place. And Britain's financial watchdog warns about the dangers of investing in cryptocurrency as Bitcoin price crashes. Twitter shares fell up to 12% today after banning President Trump from his platform. They did climb back a little later in the day, but the price went as low as $45 today. Twitter says it removed the president from his platform after claiming his tweets incited violence. But Trump accuses Twitter of colluding with Democrats and the radical left to ban him, and the 75 million U.S. citizens who voted for him. Twitter also banned lawyer Sidney Powell and Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. Some users who weren't banned decided to leave the platform anyway, including radio host Rush Limbaugh and Mark Levin. The president says he'll just find another platform to get his message out. Many thought he'd moved to a relatively new platform called Parler, but that was immediately taken offline by Amazon's hosting service. Right now, Parler is suing Amazon. It alleges Amazon's hosting service violated antitrust laws and their contract, and Parler is asking the court to reinstate its platform. It argues that Amazon's move was politically motivated and designed to reduce competition for Twitter. It's also one of Amazon's hosting customers. Parler claims Amazon's move will kill Parler's business at the very time it's set to skyrocket. So here's the details on how Apple, Google and Amazon all moved to take down Parler. NTD's Patrick Hayden has the details.
Amazon, Apple and Google all moved to take down social networking platform Parler over the weekend. CEO John Gaetz says he's prepared to take full legal action against these tech companies. He currently can't find a service provider to host the platform and says big tech is trying to destroy competition in the market.
Amazon is a cloud storage vendor in the world, and we use them to host our servers, hundreds of servers. And they gave us they said, you have 24 hours to get all of your data and to find new servers.
Parler rose to number 1 in Apple's App Store on Saturday after Twitter banned President Trump. Soon after Apple removed it, Twitter's CEO Jack Dorsey tweeted a screenshot of Apple's App Store chart showing the app that replaced Parler with a heart. Unlike the big tech companies that moved to take down Parler, Parler says it doesn't harvest users' personal information.
We do not data pillage. We don't data mine them. We don't turn them into commodities and try to monetize them.
She says they want to provide a place where people can speak freely and where they won't be fact-checked or told what to think. Google and Apple say Parler doesn't do enough to remove dangerous content, but Gaetz says there's a double standard because violent phrases were trending on Twitter the same day Parler was removed. Gaetz also says, unlike Facebook that has groups, Parler doesn't have a way to organize events like storming the Capitol. Reporting by Patrick Hayden, NTD News.
And a top Republican in the House of Representatives says he's exploring legal options with fellow members of Congress. It's after the big tech giants shut down social media site Parler.
Representative Nunes is calling for a racketeering probe into big tech for shutting down the social media website Parler. The site is an upcoming alternative to Twitter, which banned President Trump from its platform on January 8th. Then Instagram, Twitch, and Facebook did the same. The ranking member on the House Intelligence Committee said on Fox News,
"If you don't want to be regulated by left-wingers that are at Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, where you get shadow banned, nobody gets to see you."
Users flocked to Parler following Twitter's censorship of President Trump. Both Google and Apple announced over the weekend it had removed Parler from its online store, preventing new users from downloading its app. Then Amazon announced it would stop hosting the website, effectively preventing users from accessing the website.
The effect of this is that there is no longer a free and open social media company or site for any American to get on any longer.
Nunes says the CEOs of the companies should be prosecuted. The American Civil Liberties Union is warning that the suspension of President Trump's social media accounts indicates unchecked power by large tech companies to silence voices.
And two major companies, Marriott and Blue Cross Blue Shield, they're suspending donations to lawmakers who voted against certifying Joe Biden's electoral votes. Marriott says it's taking action because of the Capitol protests. The company links lawmakers who challenged the results with protesters who stormed the Capitol building. It says their political action committee will no longer donate to those politicians. And Blue Cross Blue Shield Association will also no longer contribute to lawmakers who challenged the results. It referred to Congress members' right to challenge electoral votes as subversion and said those lawmakers voted to undermine democracy. Republican Matt Gaetz says President Trump has no plans to resign despite all the fallout from last Wednesday. He says that Trump will remain on the public stage as the most powerful and influential Republican. Gaetz says Trump will continue leading the patriotic movement, standing together to fight against the radical left agenda, whether it's from within the White House or not. He told Fox News Trump will continue to weigh in on matters that are important to the 75 million Americans who voted for him. He also said Democrats' impeachment efforts are unnecessary and divisive. Instead of focusing on Joe Biden's cabinet picks, he says Democrats are trying to hold together their fragile coalition by keeping the focus on Trump. And a House Republican blocked Democrats' efforts to try and remove President Trump from office today. Democrats wanted to introduce a resolution asking Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment. Now the House is expected to vote on that resolution Tuesday, but if Pence doesn't invoke the 25th Amendment, then Nancy Pelosi plans to bring impeachment legislation to the floor. If passed, it would make Trump the only U.S. president in history to be impeached twice. And the U.S. Trade Representative is calling on Joe Biden to maintain Trump's tariffs on China. Here's the details.
U.S. Trade Rep. Robert Lighthizer is urging Biden's team to maintain pressure on China by keeping President Trump's tariffs in place. Lighthizer also told the Wall Street Journal that the World Trade Organization should be weakened, so it can't override America's tough trade policies with respect to China. Trump has imposed tariffs on $370 billion worth of Chinese goods, motivated by China's unfair trade practices. Lighthizer said Trump's tone on trade has helped shift attitudes towards seeing China as not just a competitor, but as an adversary. In an earlier interview, Lighthizer told Reuters, "I think if you see the tariffs dissipating, that's a signal that we're not serious about understanding that China is a strategic adversary." Biden told the New York Times in December that he didn't plan any immediate moves to change the tariffs on Chinese goods. Senior Biden advisors said he would wait to decide until after consulting with America's allies. It's part of Biden's proposal to create what he calls a summit of democracies that would ward off autocratic creep, including by China. Lighthizer said Biden's plan carried the risk of letting other countries hamstring U.S. actions on China and cause policy to become mired in endless discussions.
Wall Street closed lower Monday, investors taking profits after last week's record highs. The Dow fell over 89 points or 0.29%. S&P 500 lost 25 points or 0.66%. The Nasdaq dropped nearly 166 points or 1.25%. Big tech companies, as we mentioned earlier, they lost some momentum after the platform suspended the president. Investors are also expecting guidance on the extent to which executives see a rebound in 2021 earnings. And America's biggest banks will start reporting their fourth quarter results Friday, where headlines could show profits dropping up to 40% from a year ago, before the pandemic struck.
Get set for mostly dismal results when the biggest American banks begin reporting their fourth quarter earnings Friday. Analysts anticipate profits to plunge 42% at Citigroup, 39% at Wells Fargo, and 33% at Bank of America. Of the big banks, only J.P. Morgan Chase is expected to see a moderate drop of 5%. Hurting the traditional lenders, falling interest rates due to the pandemic. Analysts say that produced a record decline in the margin between what they charge and what they pay for money. Banks also had to set aside more than $65 billion for expected loan losses. But the booming capital markets business should boost results at the traditional investment banks. Profits are expected to rise 1% at Morgan Stanley and 43% at Goldman Sachs.
And Britain's financial watchdog is warning about the dangers of investing in cryptocurrency as the Bitcoin price continues to crash. NTD's Patrick Hayden reports.
Britain's Financial Conduct Authority, or FCA, says investing in cryptocurrencies is very high risk and investors should be prepared to lose all their money. The message comes as Bitcoin, the biggest cryptocurrency, reached its highest amount ever at nearly $42,000 last week. At one point from Sunday to Monday, Bitcoin dropped over 20% of its value. UK investors currently do have some small protections in place. Companies that offer investments in cryptocurrencies are subject to regulation. The FCA statement reminds that new rules come into place this week. They require that crypto companies register with the Watchdog and carry out money laundering audits. The UK's move comes as the US Treasury says it plans to introduce new rules to stamp out illegal cryptocurrency transactions. It would also require custodians and exchanges to provide details on cryptos held outside of financial institutions. Reporting from London, Patrick Hayden, NTD News.
Still to come this evening. You don't want an item you just bought online? Well, some retailers want you to keep it and they'll refund you anyway. And a major consumer electronics show turns to tech for virtual salvation. Thousands of exhibitors pitching to digital crowds. That and more after the break.
Trends may be fleeting, but values are timeless. We now bring you this new clothing brand with classic design and luxurious comfort. It's our way of sharing hope and inspiration from the world of Shenyun. We bring you Shenyun Dancer. Wear it with honor.
Some retailers want you to keep the items you're trying to return because sometimes it's actually more expensive for them to process a return than it is just to refund the customer and let them keep what they bought. Online returns can be 3 times more expensive than in-store returns for companies to process, so Locus Robotics uses robots to help automate returns. It says retailers not only lose $10 to $20 processing online returns, freight can be 15 to 20% of the cost. Retailers look at a variety of factors, including product resaleability, customer purchase history, product value, and the cost of processing the returns. Narvor, a company that processes returns for retailers, says online returns jumped 70% from 2019. People are not willing to return online orders to physical stores, while others didn't get the size they were looking for. And Crocs footwear is reporting its best ever year. Revenue in 2020 hit $1.4 billion. It's up over 12%. It's a new company record. The stock is on a 4-year winning streak, in fact, of 50% last year alone. A lot of people think you should only wear Crocs indoors because, well, they don't look very good. Maybe that's why sales are up during the pandemic. The shoes were originally made for sailing and boating and sold over 600 million pairs since the company was founded 2 decades ago. The company expects sales to grow at least another 20% in the new year. And CES, or the Consumer Electronics Show, will be fully digital for the first time ever this year. Pandemic restrictions cancelling basically all in-person gatherings in Las Vegas. Here's the details.
CES is one of the world's biggest technology conferences, but this year the event won't be filling the halls of the Las Vegas Convention Center. Instead, it'll be virtual.
And as we look forward to 2022, we're planning a hybrid event, but nothing's certain. I mean, obviously, we'll do the best we can. We have a long runway before 2022 January and our commitment to Las Vegas, and we are looking forward to figuring out how to do the best way possible.
The event's switch to a digital-only setting was another blow for Las Vegas. Like most other tourist destinations, the city is suffering as people stay home or vacation locally. The financial impact for the CTA is also daunting.
A lot of companies were concerned about not only the attendees, whether they would show up in Las Vegas given concerns, but their own companies. There was concerns among employees and there was a lot of anxiety.
The new digital venue comes courtesy of Microsoft and will let users message other attendees, schedule meetings, and watch hours of live hosted content and product demos. Over 100,000 attendees are set to attend online. About 170,000 attended in person last year. The 4-day digital CES attracted some 2,000 companies including Samsung, LG, IBM, Intel, Omron, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi. The show runs Monday to Thursday this week.
Still to come, Ben & Jerry's launches doggy desserts. Could be a new motivator for your pets. And a startup hopes to revolutionize the way we work from home. Find out how after the break.
When you look at TV networks in America, a soundbite and fight-it-out culture prevails on news and commentary programs. As a Canadian, I'm fascinated with America, and I wanted to offer American thought leaders an opportunity to share their thoughts in a deep dive format, where we can explore their ideas together. And so American Thought Leaders was born. The world's most brilliant thinkers believed that open discourse was the key to greatness. However, all around the world, we see that discourse is being stifled and political agendas have subverted media. The Epoch Times launched its Global Thought Leaders program to bring back this great tradition of free thought. As the host of American Thought Leaders, every week I interview some of the most intriguing minds on the most pressing issues of our time. Be sure to check out our new episodes every week.
Already a big hit with humans, Ben & Jerry's is betting canines will also crave their fun flavors. Their doggy desserts are non-dairy frozen treats available in 2 flavors named after dogs of their employees. Ponch's Mix features peanut butter and swirls, and Rosie's batch combines pumpkin and mini cookies. They have a sunflower butter base and other ingredients found in Ben & Jerry's traditional ice cream, including sugar, coconut oil, and wheat flour. They cost $2.99 for a 4-ounce cup or $4.99 for a pack of 4. You can buy them in grocery and pet stores. In fact, sales of pet supplies, toys, beds, and grooming supplies rose by double-digit percentages from late March to early July. The pet industry has proven to be recession resilient, in fact. Consumer spending on pet essentials climbed during the Great Recession, even as overall spending declined. And used kitchen equipment is piling up in Japan. Restaurants there forced to close because of the pandemic. Here's a look at what it means for one second-hand supplier.
A warehouse piled high with kitchenware near Tokyo is a graveyard showing the toll the global health crisis took on the city's restaurants in 2020. Stacks of old sinks, fridges, pots, pans and chairs are all being refurbished and sold on by Tempest Busters, a second-hand kitchen supplier. For them it has been a bumper year. Takehito Tuyama, the firm's sales director, says they've bought double the amount of goods.
In normal years, our warehouse doesn't get full or overflow with products. But because of the rising number of businesses or restaurants closing due to the coronavirus, our warehouse is overflowing.
Between February and mid-December this year, around 126 restaurants and bars have gone bust in Japan. One of those forced to close was the ramen noodle shop, Shirahachi, in Tokyo's business district. Yashiro Haga, its owner, got $165 selling his old kitchenware to Tempest Busters.
I've been slowly cleaning the shop by myself every day. Now that my stuff is gone, the shop is bare and empty. It makes me sad.
Yashiro's premises is small, so social distancing and profits proved incompatible. Combine that with people encouraged to work from home, and his business of 15 years became unfeasible.
Working virtually is unfortunately the new norm for many of us now, and the new online meeting platform could revolutionize the way we work from home. NTD's Evelyn Lee reports.
Another day at the office, a quick meeting in the conference room in the morning.
Hey guys.
Hello. Hey. Then off to the water cooler for a quick chat. Virtually, of course. Since it's the new norm for many of us, a Berlin-based startup has created a normal workday setup online. So you can move around a space to drop in on meetings or just have a quick chat with a group of work friends.
So you would have this room in which you as an avatar can move around freely. If you get close to someone, a video chat opens and you can talk.
Wonder was founded in April after Steck's previous business collapsed under the pandemic. It's grown rapidly since, and it currently has around 450,000 individual users every month. According to Steck, what makes Wonder special is that it brings back some of the essential ingredients that constitute a social gathering.
Number one is agency of the user. A user needs to be able to freely choose to whom they want to talk when. And number two is to get a feeling what's happening around you.
And according to the editor of tech site Mobile Geeks, Nicole Scott, the need for more tailored services will grow.
As lockdown has evolved, we've seen that people work in different ways, and we need different types of tools to adapt to different types of remote workflows.
Wonder is free at the moment, but the company is planning to introduce a premium version in the future. Reporting by Evelyn Lee, NTD News.
That's the latest business updates for today. You can still catch NTD Evening News at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. For NTD Business, though, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hi, we're happy to announce that you can also catch us on cable TV now. Millions of households already choose us as one of their trusted news sources, and you can too. You can watch us in Chicago, Washington, D.C., New York, and many other cities as well. And if your system doesn't carry NTD yet, you can just give them a quick call and request NTD on your cable provider. Thank you for watching. See you next time.